1915 in Hadali, Punjab, with the proverbial golden spoon in his mouth to Lady and Sir Sobha Singh, and educated at the Government College, Lahore, and at the King's College and the Inner Temple in London, Khushwant Singh has sported different colored turbans in his distinguished and eventful life. Beginning as a lawyer in Lahore, he changed profiles in quick succession to be a writer, diplomat, broadcaster, historian, biographer, editor, and a newspaper columnist. It was therefore imperative that he would author his autobiography at some point in his writing career, and which he has done now in the autumn of his life. An account of life that was endorsed by his late wife, despite herself appearing not in a very favorable light. Now 87, he narrates the story of the publication of his autobiography, once again in his inimitable, no-holds-barred manner.
Mainly at the prodding of my daughter, she said, why don't you write a book for me? Although I had dedicated the very first novel, Train to Pakistan, to her, you write your autobiography specially for me. It will be published by my husband, the royalties will come to me, all that kind of thing. So I did tell her and warn her, I said, you may not like to know what a rascal your father was in his younger days. She said, no, that's all right. Everyone has a background. Or the domestic problems I had in my marriage and various other things. So I wrote about a third of it and gave it to her to decide whether I should go on. And she read it, my wife read it, and they said, go ahead. So I went ahead. I haven't obviously put all, because if you put everything, it may become tedious. So I went ahead with it and handed it over. It was to Ravi Dal, my son-in-law, who's publisher. And in his enthusiasm to give it advanced publicity, offered some chapters to different papers. The India Today carried one dealing with Menaka Gandhi's expulsion from Mrs. Gandhi's home. Suddenly I slapped with a legal notice that the judge, Justice Ramamurthy, granted her an injunction. And it took 6 years for the case to be heard. And ultimately the division bench held in my favor. So the book published 6 years after it should have been in the market. And by then Penguin Viking also became part of it because they wanted to make it a joint publication. And is doing reasonably well. There are many misprints and errors because they did it in a hurry lest she slap another kind of injunction. They produced in a hurry. There are many misprints, many errors of fact which have been rectified in the subsequent editions. And now it's in the market, and I'm told they're already into a third printing. And this above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day, that then thou canst be false to any man.